How about 41 laps at the Glen, just on the southern tip of Seneca Lake, ready to go racing. Watkins Glen International is the home of TNT round number 8, and it's a hometown race for Nick Pressey, the driver from Brooklyn, a couple hours away from the racetrack. We'll start on the front row alongside one of the Bluegrass Bandits, Toby Estes, in that number 8. Ready to go racing, round 8 at the Glen. Green flag is out. Pressey with the lead down into the second to last corner, and another New Yorker here. Ryan Pinnell in the number 12, Mac Tonight Ford Taurus coming out of the second to last corner, and then Richie Catania follow just ahead of him in the 2-4. Tommy Withers in the number 6 following in his machine, and then the 6-9, his older brother Christian Withers. And already Donald Ray looks like he's going to get to quick action on the outside of that 6-9. Now, if you missed last week, Rick James TV, we do apologize. We had some technical difficulties there as Donald Ray gets into the wall, and the pride of Rockwall, Texas, just makes contact. Looks like he's in one solid piece. Landon's in the house as well, cheering on the Bluegrass Bandits. Cody Riggs is one of those Bluegrass Bandits who's got heavy damage on that number 3. Noah Belleville and Elridge George not starting in this race. Toby Estes with a strong move, and he's gotten around Nick Pressey. This is the pass for the lead on lap 1. Oh, Pressey just goes wide, makes it way too easy for Toby Estes. And a shaky Nick Pressey now has to catch his bearings again. He sits in the second position, just ahead of Jacob Prince. I say just ahead. Seth Wansing has got his number. The number 9 Quality Care Ford now up behind the South Carolinian. Prince did go purple, fastest lap, 1:13.44, the Office Depot Ford, who won the opening round, and he won last week at Bristol. Again, if you didn't see it, that's because I didn't stream it. This Season 2 update has really just kind of made a mess of things, and just trying to hold on with uploading and everything. And I guess just the update just kind of screwed a couple things around, and wasn't able to stream last week, but Jacob Prince winning in that Bristol race. Noah Belleville finishing in second, and Belleville not in the race tonight. Technical difficulties himself, and it is absolutely cost him. Belleville coming into this race just lacking in the points compared to Jacob Prince, and you may not think that third is lacking that much, but given the run that Jacob Prince has had, he's sitting third right now. Belleville's not even in this race. He's going to lose that tie for second place, and he's going to fall well behind Justin Shoup. But you take a look at the pride of Bealton, Virginia. He sits in the 7th position right now. The blue and white, number 91. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, normally he runs the course scheme. And I'm sure there is a course paint scheme there somewhere. But again, having to restart all these graphics and everything like that just kind of makes it a pain in the behind here. But actually, you know what? I can think of one crucial move that I didn't make here. So we'll if we get a break here to reset some paint schemes, we'll do exactly that. Toby Estes leading. Nick Pressey just went purple, however. He beats Jacob Prince's fastest lap. The number 94 gets really loose out of the carousel. Pressey now in trouble. Here comes Prince. On board with Jacob Prince. And going through the bus stop there, you just think, man, he's really sending it in deep. And while Prince is sending it in deep, I mean, it's just necessary to attack the bus stop like that. Nick Pressey having a good show so far, though. He sits in second, 1.5 seconds ahead of Jacob Prince, and then Toby Estes kind of running away with this one in that number 8 Marlboro machine. He leads by 1.8 seconds over Nick Pressey. 6 laps underway at the Glen. Ryan Lindemann, he's in a tough battle here. He gets to the inside of Tommy Withers. This is for the 11th position. And then you're looking at Donald Ray in the number 5 machine. He sits behind the 2-0 of John Honeybrink in the NVIDIA 2.0 Chevrolet. And Withers now running away with that position. But now Lindemann, he finds himself comfortably in 12th, and John Honeybrink sits in 13th, now trying to get the advantage on Lindemann. 5-1 sends it to the inside. Donald Ray now is going to make some competition for Honeybrink. The Season 4 Talladega winner will yield the position, and the pride of Rockwall, Texas now gets away. And there's Christian Withers, who's gone around in the 6.9 one-car incident out of turn number 1. Just gives it a little too much. Let's go on board with him again. Too much wheel, too much momentum into the corner. Cody Riggs went off slightly before this, just flying through that bus stop, and he had to give back a little bit of a position. Richie Catania also had incident, the 2.4 DuPont Chevrolet. Flying out of the penultimate corner, having to catch himself there. Withers in the 15th position. Estes just went green. He turned his personal best, 1:13.25. You take a look at drivers like Nick Pressey, 1:13.56, but they're the only 2 drivers to put in laps from 1 minute 13 seconds. Is Jacob Prince saving? Maybe he's not pushing as hard. It goes Chevy, top 2, and then Jacob Prince in 3rd with his Ford Taurus, Seth Wansing in 4th with his Ford Taurus, and then another Bluegrass Bandit, Briley Wright, in that generic liveried 2.9. And again, if it looks a little bit off, don't worry about it. We just got to tweak some paint scheme settings here, but under a green flag, it's a little bit difficult to do. So we'll get this worked out. Toby Estes still leads. Now further on back, Donald Ray, John Honeybrink, and Ryan Lindemann are all going for it, on board with the 5-1. Ryan Lindemann goes off the track. He's going to give up the position right there just as we went on board in the 5-1 with a big issue. He's coming into the pits to get the race car repaired. And the Folgers machine, that pretty chrome, just getting, slammed up against the tires heading into the final corner. Let's go on board with Lindo once more. So that's going to see the 5-1 come down into the pits, and that's one of the rookies this season, Ryan Lindemann. He gets the race car repaired. He's just trying to get out of there. And Toby Estes coming to put him a lap down from Greensburg, Kentucky. The number 8 Monte Carlo comes through. Jacob Prince in the double 9 also trying to make his way through. He sits in third. Nick Pressey sandwiched between them. 3 seconds apart now. The race for the lead. Estes in the first position. 9 laps now underway. Donald Ray has found some space. He's now trying to come up behind Tommy Withers. That's 11th and 12th on the racetrack. Just over 100 miles in today's race, about 100 miles and change. 41 laps on this almost 2.5-mile circuit, just on the southern tip of the Finger Lakes, as John Honeybrink may have just lost his race car. Nope, he saved it. But a big tail slide out of the corner. Let's see what Christian Withers can do here. Watch for the 6-9 to come sliding through. Really wide out of the final corner. Keeps it in one move. Cody Riggs is next. Here comes the Budweiser Chevy. And no tail slide there, so John Honeybrink just giving it a big whip out of the corner here. Tommy Withers has gone off the racetrack. He gives up the position to Donald Ray heading into the bus stop. On board, but let's see what happened to the 6. Did he just catch the grass just coming up through the S's? Lost control, and Donald Ray gets around him. Season 4 champion Thomas Andrews goes really wide out of the penultimate corner. Has to catch himself there. Donald Ray now in 11th. Tommy Withers sitting in the 12th position. If you just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. Briley Wright now being chased down by Justin Shoup over the last 5 laps. Wright just has not had the speed that Shoup has had. But is Briley saving his stuff? It is a long race. Drivers are expected, as Ryan Lindemann goes off the racetrack just ahead of these two. Here comes some drama. Lindemann now in the 5-1, just a little bit slower. Here comes the 2-9, here comes the 9-1. Briley Wright and Justin Shoup will be desperate to get around him. Everyone clean, green, out of the carousel. Thomas Andrews following them. There's the battle for third in front of you. The two Tauruses dueling it out, and Lindemann now watches. The 2-9 and the 9-1. Not for position, but does Lindemann give way? He does. Shout out Ryan Lindemann letting these two fight on. Back to that battle for the 5th spot. Briley Wright just ahead of Justin Shoup. Further on back, Donald Ray slugging it out here. He's behind Ryan Pennell in the 1-2. The Texan coming up on the New York pilot. Coming up to lap number 11. And Ryan Pennell says, you know what? You go ahead and have it. Donald Ray now in the top 10. Ray doing a good job so far. He started in the 15th position. He's up to the 12th spot. And Ryan Pennell from Butternuts, New York, sitting in the 11th position, 12th, 3 seconds behind him. Up at the front, Seth Wanting is back on Jacob Prince. Here's the battle for third, on board with the 9 car. You just love to hear that machinery working, don't you? Seth Wanting chasing him down, really, really pushing the car, trying to get some sort of advantage. And this is for the 3rd position. Pit stops not that far away. These drivers expected to go between 15 to 18 laps on a run. But we'll see who's conserving. We'll see who isn't. Maybe Jacob Prince is conserving, and he's trying to stretch it to lap number 20. Cody Riggs with a big incident in that 3 car. Let's see what happened to him. This is in turn number 1. Does he overcook it? He overcooked it. He burnt that to a crisp. He comes to a halt. He sits in the 15th position. Nick Pressey is in on lap number 13. Is this a scheduled stop? He's going to give up the 3rd position. Toby Estes now up the S's. There goes Jacob Prince entering turn number 1 with Seth Wansing hot on his heels. The double 9 of Prince sits in the 2nd position. The pride of Greenwood, South Carolina, being chased by the pride of Kansas City, Missouri. Wansing in the 9. Wants a piece of the 99. This is the battle for 2nd. And meanwhile, sorry, that is the loudest thing in the world. Toby Estes putting Christian Withers a lap down. Estes is 11 seconds ahead of the competition. Just marvelous stuff. These two gonna fly by at the speed of light, and look at Seth Wansing. He's into the 2nd position. Let's see how we got there. Just through the carousel. Calm, cool, collected, and now he sits in the 2nd position. Moldy Muskrat saying there's no way a stop will work, even if you save enough fuel. And that's Noah Belleville, for those that know. Way too much time doing a one-stop race, so it's going to be 2 stops for everybody, saying between 13 to 14 laps to split the 2 stops evenly. So Belleville now playing a little bit of pit strategy himself. Unfortunately, we couldn't see him in this race, but Toby Estes running away with the lead so far. You did see Jacob Prince come on down into the pits on lap 14 as well. Seth Wansing sitting in 2nd, 4 seconds ahead of Briley Wright. Jacob Prince comes back out onto the racetrack. He's going to come behind Ryan Pennell in the 1-2, so we'll see just how far he gets. Through the S's then, the double 9. Jacob Prince at the top of the hill, and Ryan Pennell from Butternuts, New York, now following him closely. And you can go ahead and look it up. It's a real place in Otsego County. But Pennell from Butternuts, New York, in that 1-2 Mack Tonight Ford. Seth Wansing has finally come into the pits. Thomas Andrews also coming into the pits. So then Lapeer, Michigan's Terry Freer is going to come out of that final corner. He's going to try. Nope, he's going to come into the pits as well. So Justin Shoup in 3rd. Briley Wright in 2nd. Toby Estes leading the way. 2 Bluegrass Bandits, 1 and 2. And Cody Riggs in 16th. He's in the pits right now, but we'll see if he decides to come out. So far, it's been the Toby Estes show. We're about a third of the way through this race, just a little more than that. If you just tuned in, no cautions so far. But now it's going to be a game of pit strategy. We're going to see who wants to undercut who. Does Toby Estes decide it's his time to come in? On board with the 8 car. And Toby Estes decides it's his time to come in. How about Briley Wright? Justin Shoup behind him, who's poised to take the lead if Wright decides to come on down into the pits. And Justin Shoup will not come into the pits. He's going to follow Briley Wright. There's Toby Estes. He's out of the pits. So Toby Estes is on the... Nope, he's not. My mistake. I thought that was 10 seconds. I guess not. I can't count, but we know this by now. Toby Estes in 3rd, stationary. Briley Wright in the lead out of that first corner. And Justin Shoup 1 second behind him. Over the last 5 laps, Justin Shoup not consistently quicker than Briley Wright, but that last time around he was 1 second quicker than the Bluegrass Bandits. So they go 1-2 into the bus stop. And now Toby Estes comes out just ahead of Nick Pressey. Half a second the difference, and Pressey's about to wave goodbye to the 8 car. Michigan's Terry Freer had an incident. Coming into the bus stop, car 86. Also overcooks it, just gets the weight upset, and he doesn't hit the wall. Smooth move by the Lapeer driver. And New York City's Nick Pressey now following Briley Wright. And I thought, Toby Estes, I thought Toby would have left him in his dust, but not so. Although, what is it? There are 3 laps of wear difference on their tires. Toby with tires that are 3 laps more fresh. 25 laps to go at Watkins Glen International. These two have run away with the show. Nick Pressey still looking for his first ever Thursday Night Thunder win. He's going to have to steal it from this man right here, Toby Estes. Jacob Prince sitting in that potential 3rd position when the pit stops cycle through. Last time around, Prince, 1:13.55. Nick Pressey, 1:13.79. But it is a 9-second gap from Jacob Prince to Nicholas Pressey. Last week's winner has a lot of work to do. And so does Briley Wright if he intends on staying in first, because Justin Shoup might want to take that lead, but these guys are stretching it all the way to the end. Again, 15 to 18 laps, the expected fuel run as Justin Shoup takes the lead, and Briley Wright will now sit in the 2nd position. I don't know if these guys are gambling on a caution or what, but it does not seem likely. We've gone caution-free in the first, 17 laps of this race? Donald Ray now coming up behind Terry Freer. This is for the 10th spot. Ray with a wiggle. On board with Toby Estes, who just went purple, 1:12.78, the fastest lap of the race, and the only lap under 1:12. Look at the 5-1, Ryan Lindemann. Is he trying to impede the race leader into the bus stop? Did he not know where he was going? You got to run that one back. Here's Lindemann just ahead of the 8 car. Now again, that's race leader, Toby Estes. Look for the 8 car in the mirror, watch the hands of the 5-1, and listen to the throttle. Justin Shoup and Briley Wright have come into the pits. Ryan Lindemann driving to the left, driving to the right, not sure where he's going. And let's run this back. Watch the hands on the 5-1. And forgive me, this starts at just a bit sooner. Listen to the throttle. Really unorthodox throttle coming up the hill out of turn number 1. Have a listen. Really light on the throttle, not accelerating up the hill as you would expect. And just watch the center tape on the wheel. Just turn a little bit to the left there down the back straight. All right, let's have a look from the blimp view here. I don't know what to say. I'm stammering here, just not sure how to call that one. But Toby Estes, 2 seconds ahead of Briley Wright. Ryan Lindemann running in the 13th position after Christian Withers and Terry Freer come on down into the pits. So it's a 2-second race for the lead. Jacob Prince, 9 seconds behind the top 2. Seth Wanting now chasing him down, and over the last 5 laps, Seth Wansing consistently quicker than Jacob Prince. Let's see what happened to Briley Wright. He just recently fell off the track here. Oh, he's coming in way too hot into that penultimate corner, and you saw he missed the apex there. Looks like Justin Shoup earlier might have had some incident. No, he just gets it loose. He gets on the ground. I tell you what, though, steady hands saving that race car. On board with the 91. Watch the hands. Just lets off the throttle, guides her right back onto the racetrack. Tough move there by Justin Shoup, but he pulls it off. He's now chasing Seth Wansing for 4th, who's trying to chase Jacob Prince for 3rd. Prince now coming up around Honeybrink in the 2-0. Honeybrink in 13th, finds himself 1 lap off the pace. And Ryan Lindemann did just go a lap down due to Toby Estes there, so possibly Lindemann trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. John Honeybrink now trying to claw the time between himself and the 5-1. That last time through, Honeybrink quicker, but he hasn't been consistently quicker than Lindemann. Most of these drivers are going to be on a 2-stop strategy. Remember, they pitted between laps 13 and 15. Quick math will tell you that they're going to be pitting within the next 5 to 7 laps. And then it's going to be a shootout to the end. Seth Wansing now trying to get around Honeybrink. Wansing also having difficulty. Losing a lot of speed. Ryan Pennell's come in. Butternuts, New York. Ryan Pennell now into the pits. The Mac Tonight Ford decides it's his time to come on through. Christian Withers also in the pits as well, but he doesn't look like he'll be moving anytime soon. He's been in there for quite a while. Toby Estes leading this race now by 4 seconds over Nick Pressey. Jacob Prince sitting in 3rd with Seth Wansing now getting around Ryan Lindemann. And the number 9 chasing down that 99. Now let's go on board with Lindemann once more. Oh, by that time, Wansing's already gone around. Oh, and I'm trying to just find the moment here where Wansing does get around the 5-1. All right, one more try. Let's see what happens. And that's the 99 of Prince going through. So, no more drama here from the 5-1. Have a look here, and let's see if he was just racing for the lead or giving the guys around him a hard time. And by that move there, Seth Wansing continues his chase on Jacob Prince, and Lindemann just racing hard, trying to stay on the lead lap. Number 9 comes up behind that 99, who goes wide out of the penultimate corner, and now the double 9's going to make that car super wide on the 9 car. 18 laps to go. Justin Shoup takes a wide line out of the penultimate corner, but he saves it, and Jake Prince now playing defense on board with the 9 of Wansing. Nick Pressey running in that second position, almost 6 seconds behind Toby Estes. Terry Freer goes off the racetrack here. Briley Wright comes up behind him, not for position. Wright sitting in 6th. Lindemann has John Honeybrink right behind him. This is for the 11th position. The Folders machine keeps it clean and green through turn number 1 in the 5-1, trying to keep that top 11 spot. And the 5-1. Just ahead, and he's holding steadfast. He's got a great defense on that 2-0 coming into the bus stop. Honeybrink watching that 5-1 sail away, and Ryan Lindemann wants that 11th spot to himself. And one of the New York drivers has just gone green. Ryan Pennell with a 1:15.06, his personal best today. 16 laps to go next time by, and the fight for third is still close. Seth Wansing not really pushing the issue, but he's comfortable behind the 999. On board with Prince. Getting around the lap car of Tommy Withers, Seth Wansing decides he wants to play leapfrog with one of the rumble strips. He's now right on the back end of that 999. Moldy Muskrat giving us your fuel update in the chat, letting you know the fuel window is open to go to the end. So if drivers pit now, they can make it to the end of this race. And Nick Pressy's going to have to try the undercut of his life to beat Toby Estes. Although, when Toby Estes did come into the pits, his lead was 10 seconds last time. And here, the interval is only 7 seconds between them. Seth Wansing now coming up behind that 999. He wants a piece of that Ford on board with the 9. Pressy, 8 seconds behind the Bluegrass Bandit, Toby Estes, leading in the number 8 Marlboro machine. And again, if you think the paint schemes are a little bit off this weekend, they are. Last week, had some technical difficulties here and just trying to deal with this Season 2 update. But we're making do, and the good people at iRacing are taking care of things. So I'm grateful for them. Now, the number 8 of Toby Estes. Just demolishing this race so far. John Honeybrink going really wide, getting out of Briley Wright's way, and Ryan Lindemann looks like that 11th spot is now more secure than ever. Briley Wright coming up behind him, and Briley running in the 6th position coming into this race. Briley looking for a little bit of a boost. He sits in 7th, about 13 points behind Ryan Pennell, who comes into this race in 6th. But Briley doing better than on the track right now, running higher up than Tommy Withers and Ryan Pennell, so he stands to gain. Noah Belleville in that two-way tie for 2nd. He stands to lose quite a bit. Technical difficulties plaguing him tonight, and he's not able to start tonight's race. Elridge George very much may have been in the same boat. But looking at the top of the tree, Justin Shoup leads by 5 points over Jacob Prince. Justin Shoup running in 5th. Jacob Prince running 2 spots ahead in the 3rd position. And Seth Wansing has almost been able to close the gap to the 999, but just not quite seal it. And we'll see what Seth has planned for the final stint of this race. Michigan's Terry Freer in the 8.6 coming up behind the 2.0 of John Honeybrink. This is for the 12th spot. Season 4 champion Thomas Andrews behind them in 7th. Jacob Prince is in. Seth Wansing coming up behind him. Here comes Justin Shoup to move into 3rd. Briley Wright will move up into 4th while these two come down into the pits. So now all eyes on the leader. When does Toby Estes decide is a good time for him to come into the pits? Big slide out of the bus stop. Lucky number 13 laps to go this time by. Ryan Lindemann also decides it's his time to come in, so maybe he'll get a little bit of repairs and shine up that beautiful gold and red Folgers machine. Shout out Mark Martin fans all over the world. There's Wright in fourth. Thomas Andrews in fifth with John Honeybrink behind him, but that's not for position. And John Honeybrink chasing down the 8.6 of Terry Freer. Doing a good job, though. He's in 11th. He's 14 seconds away from the top 10, but considering a couple of runs earlier this season, Freer is doing just fine. He finds himself 26th in the point standings, running a limited schedule this season. Tommy Withers just trying to find his bearings after going extremely wide out of the corner. And, you know, I hate not to see these beautiful paint schemes here. While we're in the middle of a pit stop cycle, do forgive me. Let's try and get some of these paint schemes up and running again. Don't go anywhere. We're not even going to break. Just 10 seconds. Give me a second to click some buttons, and we'll get some paint schemes running. On board with Tommy Withers, as those strange sounds probably confuse you. But, yeah, we're just getting some new paint schemes here. Moldy saying I'm as bad as Fox with these commercial breaks. Technically, Moldy, there was no commercial. That was just a break. And, you know, as far as commercial breaks go, I have seen... watching the 24 Hours of Daytona on Peacock, you want to talk about commercial breaks, my son? Wow, that was really, really frustrating. So, shout out to those folks. He said the TNT logo popped up. You know what, Moldy? If you don't like it, you are more than welcome to go watch another stream. As now we have, I'm so glad that we updated the paint schemes, because look at this gorgeous piece of artwork here. The number three, good God. The number 6, Valvoline Ford Taurus of Tommy Withers graces Watkins Glen International in these final 13 and a half laps, 12 and a half laps, whatever the hell it is. God, that's a good-looking race car. If anybody disagrees and you think this is not a great-looking race car, put it in the chat so we can all laugh at you and tell you how wrong you are. But this number 6 Valvoline Taurus, one of the all-time paint schemes, as Tommy Withers decides to take the scenic route through the bus stop, and that's probably why he's in 10th. Donald Ray with some lovely colors. What did we have him in earlier? Was it the Amoco machine? Now he's in the CarQuest car, and Justin Shoup in some updated colors. His Coors car comes back. Again, those technical difficulties, that Season 2 update, man, that really screwed some things up. But, you know, again, I'm grateful for the people at iRacing for being very, very quick in their response to help me get things worked out. And thank you to a couple of people on the iRacing forum who had some great tips to at least help us broadcast what's going on tonight. Gator in the chat says, let's go 5-1, cheering on for Ryan Lindemann in that Folgers machine. Lindo, as he used to be called in the Xbox days. He sits in the 14th position, some 7 seconds behind Richie Catania in the 2.4 DuPont machine. On board with him. And there is Ryan Lindemann in the distance with Season 4 champion Thomas Andrews in the number 2 TNT Dodge as he goes by. He used to be in the AC Delco colors for the first 29 laps of this race. Toby Estes decides it's his turn to come into the pits. He swaps out the Marlboro colors for the Budweiser Chevrolet. The three doors down paint scheme, is that how you say it? Comes into the pits, and Justin Shoup now looking to take the lead from car number 8. Shoup last pitted on lap 18. He will not be able to go the distance on fuel, but he's trying to stretch it as far as possible. Here comes Donald Ray behind him in the number 5, and the pride of Rockwall, Texas, sits in 8th. He wants a piece of the 91. Through the S's. 91 on the outside. He's going to tuck in right behind the 5 and try and get a good run up the hill, but Donald Ray just has the juice. Ray in 8th, and the number 91 of Justin Shoup in the lead. New leader at Watkins Glen, coming to 9 laps to go. Is Shoup really going to risk a splash and dash at the end? Will he go no tires? I tell you what, it's a great gamble to win this race, but Toby Estes is only 6 seconds behind. Briley Wright, 6 seconds behind Toby Estes, but Briley also pitted on lap 18. He cannot go the distance. And if you just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. And when I say that, I mean you've missed quite a lot. It's been a really eventful race. 8 laps to go next time by. Briley Wright sitting in 3rd behind his Bluegrass Bandit teammate, Toby Estes, in the number 8 Budweiser machine, who's been running comfortably in the lead all race long. And then there's this guy, Nicholas Pressey, who just went purple, 1:12.47, fastest lap today. And Brooklyn's Nick Pressey, the hometown pilot, looking to take home a little bit of a souvenir, if anything. He's chasing down Briley for that podium. And how about those colors on the 2.9, the Pennzoil Shell Chevrolet, that Kevin Harvick paint scheme. That looked oh so good. And if you love this paint scheme, if you love any of the other paint schemes that you've seen here tonight, like the 3 doors down one, even the Mac Tonight car, fans, check out Drip Diecast and Collectibles. You'll find them on Facebook and on eBay. It is your #1 online store for all sorts of Facebook memorabilia and your favorite NASCAR paint schemes, like the 2-4 Flames. Who can forget this awesome one? Noah Belleville normally runs the awesome Haas Automation machine. Jacob Prince was running the Office Depot colors earlier. He's now in this custom Coors paint scheme right here. Seth Wansing in that Budweiser Chevrolet. You can get the Dale Jr. version of this on Drip Diecast and Collectibles, but check them out, Drip Diecast and Collectibles on Facebook and eBay, your #1 online store for all sorts of NASCAR memorabilia. Check them out. Briley Wright comes into the pits. He's going to relinquish 6th. Thomas Andrews just has to pass him coming out of that final corner. Richie Catania. He sits in 12th. He's looking to get around Terry Freer. The 8.6 Chevrolet is going to come down to a halt. Briley Wright is now on the move. And Justin Shoup holding on to first for now. Toby Estes within 2 seconds. Again, Shoup last pitting on lap 18. Toby Estes pitting on lap 31. What is the game plan? Shoup has to be gambling on some sort of caution. Seth Wansing, 1 second behind Jake Prince, and this is the battle for the 4th position. Nick Pressey sitting in 3rd, and what a run by the Brooklyn pilot. He comes into this race needing a lift in the points himself. Pressey running 10th. He's tied for 10th in the standings with Seth Wansing, and if he can hold on to this podium finish, he'll be doing a lot better than 10th by the end of the night. Estes just went green, 1:12.50, his quickest lap. Here he comes on Justin Shoup. Toby Estes does not need to force the issue. He doesn't need to push it. He's got the tires. Shoup runs incredibly wide through the bus stop, and he politely relinquishes the lead to Toby Estes, new leader in car number 8, Toby Estes. Coming into this race, no wins, but runs 4th in the points. We've had 5 winners in the last 7 races. Toby Estes wants to make it 6 in 8. This will mark the halfway point through the season, and he's got to hold on for another 5 laps. But what is Justin Shoup's game plan? 18 laps on fuel the first stint. Quick math would tell you he would need to pit right now and then drive like crazy for the last 5 laps. But expect Shoup to come in, if not this time by, next time by. The pride of Bealton, Virginia will have a big task ahead of him. Nick Pressey needs to close the gap now. Pressey pitted on lap 30. Look at that, last time by, Nick Pressey, 4.3 seconds quicker than Justin Shoup. This is the time. Nick could seal a silver medal if he plays his cards right, but Justin Shoup wants to play the time delta just a little bit better than the rest of the competition. Up ahead, Ryan Lindemann running in the 13th position. On board with the 5-1 as the 91 comes up behind him. And Shoup is in. Justin Shoup decides it's his turn to come down into the pits. And the Floridian speeds by while Justin Shoup crawls at an achingly slow 40 miles an hour. Here comes Nick Pressey at 150 plus. That's going to put Nick Pressey into the second position with 4 laps to go next time by. Jacob Prince will now take over the third position with Seth Wansing chasing him in the number 9 Budweiser car. And over the last 5 laps, Wansing has not consistently been quicker than Justin Shoup, than Jacob Prince, excuse me. So with 4 laps to go this time by, he's going to need a little bit of magic out of the 9. Four laps to go for the Bluegrass Bandit from Greensburg, Kentucky. Justin Shoup is out of the pits, and he is up to speed now going through the carousel. He's coming up behind Tommy Withers in the 6. The Virginian running in 10th, and the other Virginian getting away with the 5th position. Shoup out of that final corner with 4 laps to go for him, and the hunt is on. Seth Wansing lays 9 seconds ahead. Wansing pitted on lap 27, same as Jacob Prince, but then Justin Shoup pitted on lap number 36. So Shoup with tires that are 9 laps newer than 3rd and 4th place. Don't rule out a podium in these next 4 laps. Shoup is going to have to gain 2.5 seconds a lap on these 2 guys, but who knows? This really could get interesting. The number 99 of Jake Prince, just ahead of the number 9 of Seth Wansing. Prince with a couple of wins this season. 3 wins, actually. He's the first driver to score the hat trick this season. Let's see. He won the season opener. He won, last week at Bristol. And somebody in the chat helped me out. He won one more race. And Noah Belleville in the chat asking if Justin Shoup even took tires. With a pit time of 6.38 seconds, Shoup went fuel only, 0 tires in that number 91. Look at Richie Catania going super wide out of the corner. Richie's in 14th, 5 seconds off John Honeybrink, and that just might seal the position for the 2-0 and the 2-4. Toby Estes, 17 seconds ahead of Nick Pressey. And the next time somebody complains to you about the winning gap in Formula One, just tell them that TNT does the same thing. 18 seconds the difference between Toby Estes and Nick Pressey. And, I tell you what, if Toby Estes can do this in Thursday Night Thunder, I think he can beat Max Verstappen in a Formula One race. So, naturally, what we need to do is put them on the racetrack. I'm sure somebody watching this probably knows Verstappen. Text him and let him know there's a guy in the middle of Kentucky who can beat him. I'd like to see what he says. So just over 5 miles to go for Toby Estes. Nick Pressey, 17 seconds adrift of the Bluegrass Bandit, but the pilot from Brooklyn just has to keep his car moving in one straight line. And who knows? He's got that silver medal waiting for him. But Jake Prince has a mirror full of Kansas City. Seth Wansing in the number 9 Budweiser machine wants a piece of the Coors car with just 2 laps remaining at the Glen. Prince has a great run out of the corner. He gives it a little bit of a fishtail, and Wansing now has to chase him up the S's. Seth is right there. Will he get a great run into the bus stop? 9 car following right in the wake of the double 9. Here they go. Does Seth send it in deep? He just doesn't have the space. But he might have the exit. Wansing really throwing it over those rumble strips. Here he comes into the carousel. He's looking for a great run into the penultimate corner. Wansing just can't get there. He's got one more lap to make it happen. Number 9 comes up behind the double 9. He might have a great chance coming out of the last corner. Jake Prince with a great advantage coming to the white flag. 27 seconds ahead of these two. There's a man in Kentucky who's about to get his first win this season, and a kid in Brooklyn who's going to get a silver medal behind him. Toby Estes all the way up the hill. Now comes through carousel, leading the majority of laps today, starting on the outside of the front row with Nick Pressey. And the Bluegrass Bandits will score another win this season, and it will be 3 out of 3 wins for the Bluegrass Bandits. Briley Wright winning at North Wilkesboro, Cody Riggs winning at Daytona, and coming out of the final corner to get his first win this season, Toby Estes wins at Watkins Glen. Now to the battle for the 3rd position. Nick Pressey will be 8 seconds ahead of these two. There's Pressey coming through the final corner. Seth Wansing has one last-ditch effort to get to the 99. Gets a great run into the last corner, but he just won't get there. Moldy Muskrat correcting me as he should, because I am super incorrect about who won what. Seth won North Wilkesboro. Briley won Darlington. Jacob Prince gets 3rd. Seth gets 4th. A great battle between those two for the 3rd and 4th spot. Justin Shoup will come home in 5th, and it's this guy here, Toby Estes. He's going to burn it down. He wins at Watkins Glen. Little burnout for the backstretch faithful. And I think he's going to do a burnout here for the fans at home as well. He absolutely will. You remember when Matt Kenseth used to celebrate like that? He wouldn't necessarily do a donut, but he would almost do like a 360 spin through the grass. That's what that reminded me of. Celebrations all around. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have your top 3 on the podium in just a moment. Stick around. on the podium with our top three in this race, starting with the Pride of Greenwood, South Carolina. Last week's winner at Bristol, now with a bronze medal tonight. JP, third place at the Glen. A great run.
Yeah, it went smooth. I was pretty nervous going into the race. Honestly, didn't get to practice at all this week until about 30 minutes before the race. But definitely not a road course guy. I don't run them much. Don't really care for them. But I did have fun tonight. Cars were really hard to drive. Really happy with the top three. That should be a good points night. And hopefully, if not, give me the points lead, put me really close. So good night for us, and we'll move on to next week.
Sit 4 points behind Justin Shoup heading into Auto Club. We'll see you in a week.
All right, thank you.
Tonight's silver medalist, the Pride of Brooklyn, New York City, Nick Pressey, with a second spot tonight. And Nick, you've elevated yourself into 8th in the points with that silver medal. Awesome run tonight. Now, can you back it up at Auto Club with another podium?
Yeah, I think so. Auto Club's a pretty strong track for me, I'd say. Uh, as long as I've been on a pretty good run as of late, so I don't see why a track like Auto Club would hurt me that much. Overall, I'd say I'm looking to be probably in the top 5 by the end of the season.
That's a lofty goal, but I'm sure you can achieve it. But hey, you're sitting in 8th right now, so we'll see what happens as the weeks go on. Congratulations on 2nd. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, Rick.
Toby Estes, how are you now?
I'm doing good, brother. How about you?
Not so bad. First win this season. You elevate into 3rd into the points standings. All 3 of the Bluegrass Bandits now have a win in Season 8 of TNT, and you sit 8 points behind Justin Shoup at the top of the tree heading into Auto Club next week.
Yeah, definitely it's a good step in the right direction. So we'll just have to keep doing this. It's good to actually get a road course win. Didn't expect it, with Moldy being in the league, but unfortunately he couldn't make it tonight. What sucks for him, but I'll take the win any way I can get it.
We'll see what happens next week. We'll see what happens in these coming weeks, man. But your car was just dialed in tonight. You think you're going to have the same sort of setup next week?
I hope so. Yeah, it's those tracks are very good for me. I'm mediocre at the road course. This car is just tough to tame, and we'll see if we can tame her again next week.
We'll see you in a week's time. Congratulations on the win.
Yep, thank you.
Fans at home, that does it for us. An awesome race tonight at Watkins Glen, and it's so good to be back. Again, apologies for that, for the lack of a race last week, but thanks to the folks at iRacing, we found a temporary solution, and we'll keep on working to bring you the best esports every single week. So until that next race, next Thursday, everybody please stay safe.